And keep it going for our next teller, Emma Alamo.
So the first thing that I do when I get into my pickup truck is take off my bra. Because it has been a long night. It is about 1 in the morning, and I have just left an event that I performed at, and now I am headed home, alone and sober, and that feels crazy to me. I quit drinking about a year ago, and I'm at a point now where I can go to these events that are at bars, and I can handle that. I can handle going to the bar and ordering a ginger beer instead of a double vodka and soda. And I can handle getting behind a microphone without that sweet, sweet liquid courage in my veins. But leaving alone feels really weird. Because back when I was a drinker, which was most of my adult life, there was never a point in an evening where I was like, I'm tired, or things are winding down. I'm gonna go home now, I guess. I would never leave until the night was over. And that could take a really long time. Because I'd have like a few drinks getting ready to perform, and then I'd have a few drinks afterwards to sort of celebrate, and then I'd stick around to socialize, you know, have some shots with people, have some shots by myself, and then I'd make my way to the 4 a.m. bar, and I would not leave until I had at least one lover to bring home with me. And I would leave like with another person, but also with this story, this like hero story of like the crazy, amazing night that I had. And now I'm leaving sober and alone, and the only company I have is my dejected bra in the passenger seat, and it's not really a great conversationalist. So I start driving, and I'm just feeling so shitty about myself. I'm like too depressed to even turn on the radio because I'm like, I don't even deserve music right now. I can't handle anything. And there's this thing they tell you in AA meetings. They say the only thing you have to do is not drink today. And you need that kind of perspective if you're an addict. And I have completely lost that perspective. I'm like gripping the wheel and looking at the road, and I'm seeing my whole life as a sober person like fold out in front of me. I'm seeing waking up every morning and knowing that I'm not about to have the best day of my life, that all of those are behind me. I'm seeing morning after morning of waking up to this same struggle, to these same demons, and it just starts to look impossible. It becomes impossible to picture a life in which I don't relapse. And then I'm fantasizing about relapsing. I'm thinking about what that first sip after so long would taste like. And then I'm thinking, like, if I'm gonna relapse eventually, why not now? And I'm passing by the neon lights of bars and liquor stores that are gonna be open for just a little while longer. And I think about how easy it would be to park and go into a bar. And the bartender wouldn't even know. I mean, he doesn't follow me on Facebook. He doesn't see the motivational stories that I share once every few weeks to remind myself. He would just serve me a drink. And I think about how easy it would be to point my truck towards an embankment or a tree and just smash the gas pedal. I'm just thinking of all of these terrible ways that I could remove myself from this reality that I hate so much. But I keep on driving, and I make it home, and I park. And I get out of my truck, and I'm walking home, and all I have left to do now is pass the one corner bar that's right next to my apartment. And I live in Andersonville, so it's a gay bar. It's usually packed, but it's a Monday night, so there are just like a few lonely grinder dates at the bar while the music blares and the weird aerobic videos that they play for some reason are showing on the TV. And I look in as I'm walking by, and the bar looks back at me. Or more specifically, these two big brown eyes at about waist level are staring out at me from behind the glass front door. There's a big white muppet of a dog just sitting there. And it's just like smiling at me in that way that only dogs can smile. And it is just like so pleased to see me. It just sort of strikes me, the contrast between like all of the tangled darkness in my mind and just this like happy dog that's just super fucking chill. We are just in opposite worlds. So I turn away and I start to keep walking, but the dog just sort of follows me with its eyes. So then I take a few steps back. And this is far from the first time that I felt like a bar was calling me to come in, but it's the first time there was a dog involved. So I take a deep breath and I go into the bar, and the dog immediately like jumps on me, and I drop to the floor. My bra, which has been over my shoulder, I sort of drop that to the floor, and I throw my arms around the dog, and I start crying into the dog, and I start like playing with it on the floor. And the grinder dates at the bar, they are just like completely unfazed by this tableau of like a grown-ass woman who's completely sober in a gay bar at like 1:45 in the morning crying into a dog. They're all just like, yeah, with her bra, next to her on the floor. They're all just like, yeah, we've all been there. So the lights eventually come up. The grinder dates decide whether or not they're going to go home with each other. And I kiss the dog on the head, grab my bra, say goodbye. And I make it home. And I make it into my apartment. And I make it another day without drinking. Thank you.